told. I don't chase the panic, I don't beg for air. I just clamp down hard and I breathe right there. Let it slap my ego, I let it test my nerve. Every ugly pause still deserves its curve. If the clock gets mean and the price gets rough, I don't quit the chair, I just tighten up. Hold that line, don't fall too soon. Black ink rain in the trading room. Take the lick, keep the frame, same old game. Stay in the game. Funky stop, take the blow, don't drop. Funky stop, ride it out, hold your spot. Funky stop, when the market shakes. Funky stop, stay till the turn breaks. Maybe later it clears, maybe later it flows. Maybe the hard stop is the lesson that grows. I've been bruised before, still I came back mean. Nothing stays broke in this money machine. Funky stop, take the blow, don't drop. Funky stop, ride it out, hold your spot. Funky stop, when the market shakes. Funky stop, stay till the turn breaks. Take the blows, stay in the game. Take the blows, way on the flame. Funky stop. Step up. Step up. Saw the screen glow green, thought I had the code. One tap, one grin, then I doubled my load. Borrowed time, borrowed pride, pushed it to the edge with my finger on the slide. Fresh white shoes on a shaky floor. One more click, I was asking for more. Big talk, big ring, thin as smoke. I was dancing with fire and I felt that choke. Heart in my throat, hand on the wheel. I kept saying maybe, like maybe it was real. One more swing, one more spin. The house was smiling, letting me in. Bet it all, bet it all, bet it all, baby. Bet it all, bet it all, bet it all, maybe. Ride too high, burn too fast. Cash in my pockets, gone in the blast. Bet it all, bet it all, bet it all, baby. Bet it all, baby. Now the room went cold when the line turned red. Tall dreams fell right through you. One step back, one breath in, a little less thunder, a little more skin. No more craving, no more show. I want my feet on the ground, where the real ones grow. Bet it all, bet it all, bet it all, baby. Bet it all, bet it all, bet it all, maybe. Ride too high, burn too fast, cash in my pockets, gone in the blast. Bet it all, bet it all, bet it all, baby. I burned my lesson, now I know. Bet it all, and watch it go. Step up, step up, step up.
Hello, guys, man. How much fun was that? Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. We are starting off strong. Super special day today. We are trading our friends Hola on Futes. They finally got Trade-Evade Futes, so we're going to trade Trade-Evade Hola, which is really, really cool. Not to mention the fact that I really simplified the entry-exit structure of what I want to do with you guys today. So it's going to be super easy for us to trade. Played around already. We have I'm going to trade I have two accounts with them, the 100K accounts. I'm going to trade this one. Hopefully we'll see we can do well with it. I'm not going to get too crazy. I'm basically going to, my starting size will be like 2 micros, which is all I want to do. Hola Prime has some very, very cool offerings on the future side. Very simple, like super simple. Let me take you to the website here. Hang on, where's this? Is this over here? Yeah. So first, you want to go choose futures just to show you, the new product, and you see that they have the 100 or the 50K. It's very simple: 6 up, 3 down. So on 100K, 6,000 you got to make. Against a 3,000 trail drawdown, which is why you want to trade small. Consistency is 40%. And I think, the whole idea here is if you trade small, you couldn't really care less because you're going to be doing like maybe 10% a day in terms of consistency. What I really like about them is that everything else after that is super easy. On the funded side, I don't think they have any minimum requirements. You can just trade as long as you want with the structures as they are. They also have a direct account where they do have a soft breach on the direct account. Max trailing is 4%, up to 90% rewards on this, and its consistency there is smaller. But again, if we trade the way we do, consistency becomes completely non-material. And of course, they got the Forex. So the cool thing is, I have my Hola Prime. Where's my thing? We can trade the Hola Prime CFDs with my MT5 on gold, and then we can also trade it in futures. We're going to get a chance to kind of trade both products today in 2 different ways, right? So that'll be really awesome. I'll go through it much more as everybody gets into the room. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. We are starting early today. This is going to be the new schedule: Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 8 to 11, my favorite timeline. Tons of opportunities for us to make money. You can see this one just totally mooned for us. This was the trade that I showed you. So I want to show you. Well, look how we're really mooning on the open. Really nice moves. I'm going to show you the setup that, to me, is the easiest, simplest, and also one that doesn't require instant, super good timing. And that's really important because, a lot of the setups that I do with you guys are like, you snooze, you lose. You miss the entry for a second, you lose because the stops are so tight. The marks are so tight. If you're trading for 5-point targets, you got to be a complete sniper. And that's fine. And it's a lot of fun and it's really great. But I think yesterday when I was polling everybody said that they were much more interested in kind of looking for more, I don't know if I want to call it swing-like, but, longer sort of, let's say 5 to 10 minute trades instead of 5 to 10 second trades. which is exactly what I'm going to deliver for you guys with the structure that we have. So, hi everybody, how's everybody doing? Any questions before we start? Everybody's got the dots. The dots indicated for those of you guys who have it. Those of you guys who want to get it, let me give you my coaching link. You can always get it as our coaching, which is going to be on Thursday. Anything else? What's going on? Anybody who's new here wants to say hi to me. Oh, I know what else. So, explaining the whole structure, I actually put together a beautiful landing page for you guys called the Auction Theory of Trading, which really encapsulates the whole blue, orange candles in here and the whole idea of the breakout strategy and decision range and everything else. I hope you guys like it. I thought, it's really, really clear. You can click on these charts to see them, bigger, so that you can zoom in. It's all really, really nice, right? And for those of you guys who are new, you can just simply subscribe to the channel. That's all we'd like. We just want you to trade with us. Come hang out with us. So do you guys want this link? Oh, and of course it has the full PDF. I have this whole version in PDF. So if you guys want that, let me download this. Peter, give me till the end of the week to answer that question. Okay, it's an open question. I'll be happy to answer it in about a week. It's just I don't have an answer for you on that question now. So here's the let me see if I can do this. Yeah, here it is. I put the link in. Do you guys want me to pin that into the room? Let me see if I can pin that. This way you guys can have access. Bookmark this thing, right? Let me know if you like it, but I think it's really clean and clear in terms of explaining the whole auction theory of trading, why it works. And today I'm going to show you the actual details of entry exit, which I think you guys are going to love. Give me some love. Give me some plus ones. Tell me you want to hear my entries, my exits. Anybody who's new here, come say hello to me. Let me know what's going on with you guys. Tell me where you're from, actually. Hey, Wally, how are you? Ken Moore. Thank you, Ken. I'm glad you like it. I think it's a really good little landing page, and the PDF lets you download it. Hey, Mr. Sydney, nice to have you from Sydney. We love Sydney. Isaac from Uganda. Oh wow, what Isaac? Is it because Africa is way ahead of us, right? What is it? It's is it already late afternoon in Uganda, in Africa, in India? Here's somebody from Chicago. Nice to have you, Benny. Benny, if you're from Chicago, I assume you trade futures. That's all we do. Today is a super special day. We're going to have Sam Saleh come in at 10 o'clock to come in. So hang out with us, because the second half of the show, Sam Saleh from Hola is going to come in and show all of his tricks of trading, which is very, very cool. Very, very cool. This is really where it really shines, because for the longest time, Sam was a futures prop scalper, and Hola Prime had a futures platform before, but now they have the Tradeovate futures platform, which is what everybody trades. So it's really exciting. This is the first week they're doing it. Go out there, go get some Hola accounts. Actually, let me give you the link to Hola. If you do this, this gives you the best discount. If you use our code EDGE, literally the highest discount you possibly can get off any promotions that they're running. And as I said, it's super easy. You basically, the key thing that I want you to do is if you're going to trade futures with me, choose futures, and then make sure you choose Tradeovate when you go in here. So if you go to futures, you say start now. Where is this? Why is it not working? I don't know why it's not loading for me. Probably because I don't know, maybe because I'm already logged in. Where am I? Where am I? Account overview. New challenge. Let's say if I want to do a new challenge in here, let me just sort of see. So I want to do futures, prime, start now. And this is what you want to choose. Choose the one-step prime, whichever account you want. The 100K is the good one, but choose Trade-Evade. That's the one you want. Then use your discount code, get the biggest discount for it, and you're all set to go. So now this is the Trade-Evade accounts. One of the cool things about their version of Trade-Evade, they show you the full depth of market. Like here's the ladder with all the bids, and we don't see just top of market. We see the whole depth of ladder, which is really nice. And I have the chart set up on Trade-Evade. The one thing they don't have yet working, and hopefully they will in the near future, is integration with TradingView. But you don't really need it because all we need from TradingView is just our signals. And I'm gonna tell you exactly the way I'm trading this, which is really the simplest, easiest, and most efficient way of trading it. So right now, we had a nice big rally. We have orange candles signifying possible toppiness, right? Possible toppiness. Now, what turns a possible suggestion into a tradable act? Here's what happens. A tradable act occurs when the orange candle is followed by a red or a purple dot. We get a red or purple dot, that's a tradable act. And that was the short over here. And I actually had a short over here that was profitable, but I didn't take my profits. And let me tell you how you want to take your profits in the shorts. I should be able to use, yes, you need to integrate it though. You need to integrate it with Hola Prime. They just started out, so I will find out the full details on the integration. But if you're looking at at the structure, so we have the orange candle, the trigger candle is the red dot. Like right now, if we get a red dot, that's going to be a trigger candle. Where's the stop? Well, the stop is generally going to be above the highs of the orange candle, or if you want to do it on the highs of the session. But I think highs of the orange candle is fine. And then the question is, where's the exit? And here's where I think it gets very interesting. My view, because I did so much research on the dots over the weekend, is that dots are actually much better exit signals than they are entry signals. They work both ways, but as an exit signal, they're superb, meaning that ironically enough, when a candle ends on a dot, it's usually like 90% of its way there. So in this particular case, obviously, this was early, right? But if you trading it the other way around, we have the blue candle over here. It's confirmed by a white dot. White dot or green dot is our breakout candle, right? So I get long over here. And your exit is the next dot. So in this case, I actually exited over here. Now you could have had like 3 or 4 dots on the way out, but most of the time is rare. It's really just the initial burst that happens. So if you want to give you an idea, like if I here's the yellow, here's the entry over here, 35. I should have exited right over here at +5. It was a small shallow move because the market was shallow. But had I done that, that would have been a nice clean exit. You have the same idea here. So here's blue, get on white, you get stopped out, no problem. What do you do next? And this is the interesting thing with the blues. With the blues, the next turn is actually the trade that I would take. I would take this next turn again, because if you get a secondary wave up, that means it was just early. And you could take the trade here, and then you basically ratio it out against this one to maybe the next or the third or the fourth dot out. So whether you want to use fixed exits or dot exits, the most important part is the entry is always on a dot, because that's the confirmatory signal that tells you momentum is about to kickstart, right? And it's also a really great money saving signal, because here's a blue candle. and you're waiting for that white dot or green dot, none of it is coming, and you saved yourself an unnecessary stop by doing that, right? Completely unnecessary stop by doing that. All right, so here's where we're at right now. The oranges did not give us any continuity trades. The blues were basically showing us a potential thrust higher. If we get a green dot here, even though it's session highs and we're at 28,000, look at that move. We will stay with the move until it fades on us, until it quits on us. So oh really? He says you can use Tradeovate as a provider. Will this be available on Well Charts soon? I got to. It's a matter of whether Rob is going to let me code the charts. It's really just a matter of coding the candles, because everything else is already on Well Charts. But I will. It's my next thing to do. It's not complicated to do this. So sometimes you're going to have a few false starts, but when the move happens, the move can be really, really big, and that's the really cool part. And that's the whole idea. This is a setup where you have a few false small losses, and then a couple of potentially really large wins if you go. Now, this is a situation it's a little tricky. It's a question of do you still maintain that this is a yellow? Like in other words, here's a yellow. We had an orange signal that now got negated by a blue signal, but now it's actually confirming to the downside. So I'm going to take this trade and just simply use the highs over here, because it's not, we're going to take a small move here to the downside, sell at market. Shit, I think I missed it. Exit. I think I want to get out, because that did not give me the signal. The last second, the candle blew out. So I just got out quickly. We'll wait for a real signal to see if we can get down there. You really need the dot to give you some confidence that there's some momentum starting. But what's cool about the yellow and the blue candles is that they're basically early indication of a turn. So if you think about this, it's an early indication of a turn followed by a momentum thrust entry, followed by some continuity. And if you get those three things right, you're just at the beginning of a massive move, one way or the other, right? If you get nice big reversal moves, even here, yellow, purple or red, whatever, you short against this, and the move really, really unwinds at a very long time. The really great way of trading this is, and the cool thing is with the Hola Prime, we can actually do this, is multiple scale out exits. So like, one short, one medium, one long exit on the position. Maybe we'll just do like one and one, one at like whatever, plus 60 ticks, and another one at like plus 100 ticks, and see if we can milk it. Because, in a perfect structure, you're coming in early into a long 10, 15 minute move. That's where it goes. Really ideal. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna try that. Just give me a sec. I'm watching the price action, but I'm gonna see if I can try that. But I'm not sure. I think you need to have the Tradeovate enabled, but I'll give it a shot. They may work on real accounts, but not on sim accounts that you have on prop. But I'll give it a shot. Oh no, Benny. Well, so Benny, Benny's asking asking me a question that I promise you I did not pay him to ask me. But the answer, Benny, is that what you want to do is you want to trade prop with me, with coaching, because that really gives you the best of both worlds. You get the tools which you need to be able to get this right. Let me just put the coaching link in here. You get the tools in order to be able to read the market. You get all the supporting information and literature to be able to understand the structure of what we do. And then, you also get the weekly coaching with me, in addition to obviously being able to trade with the market. Plus, by the way, I always keep forgetting this, but everybody who signs up for coaching, you get a $97 rebate from me, which you can use. You can actually use this to go buy yourself Hola Prime account. Which is, oh shit, I'm yapping and I'm totally missing the buy here. There's a buy. Let me explain to you why there's a buy. So we have a blue confirmed by a green dot. It's either got to be a green dot or a white dot. And we're going to put our stop like right underneath here at 980 as our swing low. So it's actually, where is it, 75? I'll just move this to around 980. That's my stop. And, where am I in at 95? So it should be like, let's say put 05 as the exit. Now it slipped against me. That's fine. It slipped to the downside. And I actually, this is small sizes, so I'm happy to buy a little bit more at the moving average. And now I'll just simply even out my position, and we'll see. We'll see if position works, position doesn't work. Like I said, the key to this is that our risks are always going to be very controlled, because they're very, very limited near-term swing lows. But then we have a potential for further upside moves. This is a pretty tired move, so I'll be honest with you. This probably is almost surely going to fail. And if it does, if it sort of fails, basically, honestly, if this thing, 27 seconds left, if I see a purple dot hold, I'm going to just basically take the reversal signal. I'm going to just reverse this. If I get whipsawed, I get whipsawed. Again, small trades, small sizes. What I'm trying to do is, I don't care about getting stopped once, twice, three times. I'm trying to get my toe hold into a longer, bigger trade, because that's going to pay for all my tiny little exploratory stops if I don't get them. So no, we hold. I'm going to have, by the way, everybody, we're going to, the other thing I'm doing today, we're going to be on Prop Firm Match stream at around 1 o'clock. We'll talk a little bit about Prop Fest. And Hold just reminded me of Logan, because I'm going to interview at Prop Fest, who's like, I saw him trade exactly this kind of a setup where he traded a turn into the close. And all I remember him screaming, because everybody was trying to take profits, was hold, until the whole thing just really squeezed out to the upside. All right, it's a little bit of choppiness, not a surprise. Do we have news at 8:30? I don't even know. Let's see. Let us see. Where are we on the news? No, just Canadian balance of trade, exports, bullshit. We have ISM services today. Oh, that's a big number. Oh, okay. That'll be interesting to see. That will be interesting to see. All right. So we're news at 10. We have the ISM services. So, we're just kind of chilling. What's my average on this thing? I am in at 92. I'm basically right at my average right now. You can see on TradeAway, this is my average. This is my exit. This is my stop over here. Position for this trade. We'll see if it holds. Like I said, we're at a plateau, basically trying to resolve whether we want to push a little bit further higher. Markets, took out the 28,000, which is very, very impressive. But now we may be in for a little bit of profit taking. So as I said, I will flip on this thing. If it's 45 seconds, if this thing may actually even stop me out, because I'm underneath 80. So if this thing goes all the way down to 80, it may stop me out. But if it doesn't, but it gives me a red dot, I probably will reverse, because it's really a question of these. You can see here that I'm battling between what's the signal candle, this orange, which shows exhaustion, or this blue, which is showing continuation, right? And it's the answer is actually neither one of them is is kind of giving us super great insights. Looks like I'm still waiting. I'm gonna be patient. If this thing does this thing turn? Yes, it does. So here's what I do. I'm gonna exit and then sell, reverse myself completely, the other way around, um, and maybe just scale up a little bit. Okay, so now I'm short 4, and maybe just a little bit more. Okay, good. So now I am at basically 87, and here's where I want to be. We're short here. I want to be against the stop, which is like 96. It's about a 10-point stop, right? So not a lot, which means that really I want to be at like 77 on my take profits. The idea here is that I'm just going to get short, and I'm going to put myself down to, yeah, 80, 100, like somewhere around here on my things. So let's see what happens to the trade here. Like I said, we're trying to resolve which momentum has the power here, and it looks like the profit takers have a little bit of movement here. Although, where am I? Did I just get myself filled again? Okay, so I'm fine. So now I'm on all these positions. Where am I at? At 85. I want to really be, yeah, 78. Okay. All right. Let's see if this holds. If the short signal holds, or if this is just chop city and I'm getting myself chopped out, which happens, and we just have to be a little bit patient in terms of working it all out. And that's really the great thing about having the 100,000 account. You can trade small. None of these trades are going to really materially impact your drawdowns until you get that nice toe hold and try to run the trade into the direction that you want. So let's see if we can get a little bit of movement here. I'm really looking to I'm trading a ratio of this range, not a lot. The risk here is about 10. I'm looking to just maybe take 7, which is about 77 on the trade. Where am I here? See, we're all sitting over here, and I'll just move myself over here. Oh, what happened to here? What did I just do? Okay, I'm gonna get out. Damn it! I got out flat because I think I screwed up my my stops and targets. And if I do that, whenever I do that, I just always get out flat. But I was close. We're close over here. It probably does go down a little bit more. All right. It's not bad for government work. Didn't quite get the full target, and it's probably going to go to my target right here. I just simply screwed up my entries a little bit. And what position do I add to the entry trade? It's because this is a very small. I'm trading very, very small size. I'll let myself go up to like maybe 6, 7 contract. Like basically, you don't really want to go more than 5 micros on a position, but I let myself go a little bit more on this position. But you see this trade resolves, and that's what I'm trying to tell you is that the yellows and the blues are your I don't even know what you call them, your warning signals or your pre-trade signals. Early alert. That's what I'm trying to say. They're like your early alert signals, and the dots are the actual trigger trades, and also the dots are the exit trades too. On the move. All right, let me. Who was it? Aldi was saying to me that if I use. All right, I'm going to go to trade. Let's see if this is going to work. I'm going to go Trade Evade, demo, connect. Let's see if this is going to work. Something went wrong. Cannot for the trading has not been entitled to access. Yeah, see, you need to add-ons grant permission to access for trading. That's what I thought. I need to do that, and it for some reason it was not allowing me to do that. So we will not bother. Really a little bit quiet here. But again, what was the structure? So first of all, we had the yellow or the orange warning alert label for a short. I was looking for a red dot, didn't occur. Then we got a blue alert to the upside, and I was looking for a white green dot that did get there, but it just died, right? So we came in there, it just died. The moment we flipped over to the red dot, I was like, we're going short, especially because we had such a big move. It made imminent sense that this was going to be an alert to the short side, and we did do that, and that did work slowly to our target. No, you trade prop firm money. The great thing about trading prop firms, Benny, is you pay a very, very small $100 fee, $50 fee, $150 fee to buy like a $100,000 account, right? And that controls the capital, right? It's simulated capital, and if you're able to control that capital to a target, you get paid actual dollars. That's what makes it so good. You don't ever risk your own money, so it's great for practice. It's great for learning. It's great for platform learning. It's great for a lot of things because you're going to make a lot of mistakes. You're going to blow a lot of accounts. And if you blew 20 accounts, you still would never come close to the amount of money you'd be blowing on your own capital without getting anything in return. So that's why it's just a much better, much more engaging structure. The money is real. The account is sim. It gets executed on real market prices. So you have like the best of both worlds. Edge is not working at all on Hola Prime. If I use Edge, it doesn't work at all. What does it say, Chris? Maybe that's strange. Maybe they have a special code working. I'm not sure. I have to ask Kathy about that. Let me message her. All right, I'll ask her when she's free. Huh. I think was that because you were using. I have a feeling. I think I know what's going on here. You were using it. Do me a favor, Chris. Try that on Forex. I think it's because they just introduced. I had the same problem this morning. They just introduced the Trade Evade futures, and maybe they haven't been able to enable the codes on those things. Try that on FX on CFDs and see if it works there. All right, very, very quiet so far. Oh, one thing we haven't looked at, because I've sort of been just teaching you the entries on this. We haven't looked at gold, right? Which is another cool thing that we can trade. trade on Hola now at this point. So gold actually sort of is, it has the blue, has the white. We're not exactly a very you know what? It's worth a shot. I mean, it's a signal. It's worth a shot. Let's give it a small. We'll just trade it with like one tiny little thing. We'll do MGCM. Use previous settings. Oh, what's going on over here? Sorry. Continuous auto fit. Bars only. Well, what's going on here? Huh. Oh, there we go. Okay. MGC F6. Let's do this. Okay, so I'm going to put this over here because it's under 77. So if we look at gold, we see the blue, we have the white, but very, very tight little market underneath here. So I'm basically underneath at like 75, 76, 76 over here. I might get taken out very, very quickly here, which is fine. That happens. That's why I was like, this trade doesn't look very, very attractive, but it is a signal. Gold is a little bit choppier, but you see the structure still the same: yellow to purple, right, with a high above here. If you were trading above here, the thing with gold though is that you have a lot of reversible signals. You go from yellow to blue to yellow here like this, and it's very, very small candles here. Gold has been I think honestly, gold has been it's just a very streaky, choppy trade. Like you see here, here's the blues on the gold. You don't really get a white candle here. That's actually a great, great looking trade. You literally get the bottom over here, but you got to be very, very patient, for a full move. On the other hand, yellow to purple stops out. More yellows. The next yellow to purple actually does work, and that's what I mean. Small stops, but then when you get the move is often 2 or 3 times its its prior stop. So if you were here, it's a 70 to 75, and it goes all the way down to 65. So 2-to-1 play here on the move here, and this one just gets stopped out because the move dies, which is fine. That's how it's meant to be. Everything has gotten very, very quiet here, both on NASDAQ and gold. We'll stay with NASDAQ because that's really the flow that I want to trade. Threshold of 3. Sorry, what do you mean threshold of 3? Size? What is 3 referring to? You tried on both. It's invalid on both, Chris. Thank you for letting me know. Thank you. I will, Oh, Olam says PropFest 40 to get 40% discount. Maybe that's what we need to use. You know what? Use code. If he says PropFest 40, then that's the code you guys should use. PropFest 40. Okay. Oh, I'm not using rate of change at all. Let's see. I'm just, this is in this particular structure. It's super simple. It's just candles and dots. All the, the rate of changes, everything else just gets thrown by the wayside. In this particular way that I'm showing you, it's really, really easy. Kathy says CFD works fine. Huh. Okay. Okay. So, Chris, maybe something on your end. Anybody else having issues with Edge? Have you guys used PropFest 40? Has that worked for either one of you guys? Actually, you know what? I can use it myself. Well, we don't have any setups right now. Let's see what we have here. So let me just try PropFest 40. No, invalid. I think the futures thing. What about if we do Forex CFDs? Oh, invalid. I don't know what's going on here. What about Edge? Oh, sorry. Discount code. I'm using the wrong thing. Let me try this. PropFest. Because it's confusing. They got two different things. Apply. Nope. Oh, it's really weird. What's going on here? Oh, because I'm PropFest 40. Apply. Okay, that works, right? Cool. Remove. And then what about Edge if we do this? Apply. Nope. Not working. All right, so use PropFest 40. But now let's go back to futures. Let's see what they're doing on futures. One step fast. PropFest 40. Why? Nope. So futures is just straight up. I don't think they designed their codes yet. Okay. So we're chilling because we really don't have any turn of trade signals right now. $8.50 pre-market open. Nice big moves up. Let's see what's happening in the news just for a second here. Nothing immediate on all right. Well, U.S. seems to be controlling this trade for now, which is why the markets are pretty placid about that. So here's an interesting structure, right? We have this very, very faint little blue candle telling us a turn. The first white failed. The second white, white dot, if you get it, is a trade I like to do because a lot of times the first turn fails, but a second turn takes. And if we can get that, we can get a good toe hold, because again, the turn is very, very small on risk. You're really risking like 10, 15 points on this turn here. So if it fails, it fails. Now we have a blue candle and more downside price action. So this is one of those things. This is actually could also be a drift lower. One of the great things about this setup that I absolutely love is that when you get the creeper down, right, and you just you're trying to find a turn in a trend that slowly bleeds you down. This gives you very few false positives. This takes you into very few bad trades. Same thing on the short side too. Um, uh, Sorry, I'm just watching a few things here. Nothing much going on over here. So you see how it doesn't give you lots of false trades. So that's really, really cool. Oh, Prop Fest 30, Prop Fest 35 for futures, or Prop Fest 30. Let's try that. But let's actually watch the. I was just looking, just trying to see if we get a signal here. The blue to a green or white dot gives a signal, but I don't think we see a turn signal here yet. All right, let's try this actually. Where is this? We're on the future side. Yeah, futures, one step prime, Prop Fest 30. No, invalid. Huh? Oh, let's try this. It's on Tradeovate. Maybe this. Nope. 35. Oh yeah. Oh, look at that. Hey, we found the code. PropFest 35. All right, awesome. Thank you, PropFest 35 for the discount, and PropFest 40 for the other one. Awesome. I'm just letting Kathy know. Awesome. All right, everybody go out there, get a couple of the futes. That gives you really, really nice. Because we gotta trade. Buy. Shit, did it go away? No, it's good. Went buy and buy some more, because this is I want to be in a position. And here's the cool part. It's a very small risk, so we bring the risk all the way out here to the 71s. Oops. Oh shit. I'm on the wrong. Oh, fuck. I'm in gold. I want to be here. Damn it. Okay. Buy. Sorry, I'm not paying attention, guys. So I want to be underneath here on this 70s, and 90s. Let's see if this is going to work for me on the turn. So I'm basically right underneath here. If this is going to break, it's going to be a small break. It's fine. Could be a bleeder. The nice thing about this trade is you don't have to time it just right. You just got to be in the neighborhood. If you're right, it's going to work. If you're wrong, it doesn't really matter. Being in the neighborhood, the whole idea is that the stops are the really fixed part that keep you very anchored, and the opening up is good. No, we just got it. English, Sam's not going to come until 10 o'clock. I wanted to get people to. And now we're turning around. Now it's a reversal trade. If I get the red dot, but not yet so far. So let's see. It's basically really, honestly, very, very choppy price action with a downward drift. So you kind of want to go down, not up, on this trade. Me trying to catch the turn here has resulted in a couple of small failed stops, which is natural in a downward drift, right? And now it looks like this stop's going to hold. I mean, this dot is going to hold. We'll see. Where's my position? Oh, I got stopped out already of the position, so it's fine. No, I'm still in the position. Where's my stops? Oh, here they are. Sorry. Hey guys, do you know in Tradeovate, if you can extend the stops to the right of the chart, to the left of the chart? Do you know if you could do that? I was trying to figure out how to configure all this stuff. We're starting to turn. Another white dot, kind of validating the turn, possibly, but it's very, like these are like 4 or 5 thin candles. We're just sort of slow as hell right now, churning ourselves around. I want to see if we can make another run towards the 2,800 on this turn. Anyways, we're in position. We held ground, so let's see if it works for us. What's my entry on this thing? I'm at 79. Okay. Why am I not using a split view? Because honestly, it's too because I'm using Tradeovate and I can't, this Tradeovate is not connected to the thing. So I need to manage the positions just visually this way. I guess I could. I guess we could. Let's just try this. I guess what we can do is we could just move this to the side because we only need like 3 or 4 candles on Tradeovate, on Trading View to keep us in the game. Yeah, I guess this is better, right? You guys can see this is a little bit better for everybody. You guys can see this a little bit better. Honestly, it is just total chop city right now. And just like yesterday, when it was really, really choppy, when I was with you, half an hour later, it cleared up and all the trends came into place. And so long as you just kind of stay tight on your chops, your P&L, uh, I was green on all the accounts by the end of the day because you got those big run trends. You're just looking for those big run moves. Um, the thing about it is you don't know when they're going to happen, and you're going to have to just um, stay in the trade, stay to your stops, and stay disciplined on the positions. Let's see if we get a little bit of a run here. Hey, Christopher. Yeah, Keith, isn't it always like when you when you look at one asset, the one asset that you're not looking at is the one that's always performing much better, right? It's always the story. I was starting to pick up the turn. I'm just gonna take the here, because this was a very tight turn. But you see, yeah, here we go. And you see how like blue, the white, the secondary white, and then we finally broke out of it. The key thing that I want you to see is that the sequence is what really, really gives you the edge. The blue to the white that's the sequence that really, and then explosion. When things work, that's when I actually should have held to target, but I never hold the target. But it's it just gives you a really, really good idea of how to run that setup. Now Keith was saying that gold was working. Look at gold. The problem that happens here, guys, is I am a person that cannot, especially when I'm trading with you guys, can't watch 2 or 3 accounts at once. And here, by the way, how would you have traded gold? So let me show you what I would have done. You had the blue to the white, you got stopped, right? We got stopped in that gold, and then I abandoned it. And then what you do is you wait very, very patiently until the secondary white comes up, because this blue is still the operating driver. Once that one comes up, this came in for freaking 10 points of a buy move. It's all about just putting yourself in the right position for the big run, right? And then that happens over here. I just haven't traded gold in a long time, and I'm a big believer in just like focusing on one product at a time. So NAS is the trade. But you can see how the candles, the dots, all of them really help you get into the proper trades. Yeah, that might be. You're right that Christopher's saying that maybe 8 to 9 o'clock we actually try to trade gold because that's always that's the gold opening. So there's always like a lot more movement there. You're absolutely right. And maybe tomorrow we'll try to trade gold a little bit, just exclusively for the move. Hey USA, good morning everybody. How's everybody doing? Good morning. Who's new in the room here today? Who's hanging out with me? Just learning the stuff. Those of you guys who are new, the explanation of a lot of the techniques that we're doing here is pinned to the chat. There's a full landing page with a PDF and everything, all explaining to you exactly the whole idea of how things turn. So you guys should, if you have any questions to finding it, just let me know. No, we're using white dots. We're always driving dots only, because it's the dot is what creates the higher high, the closing highs, closing lows. That's the momentum candle. The white candle is simply what's called a pull away candle. That's a candle. Usually, almost every white candle and every purple candle have a dot accompanying them, because by very definition, they're going to be momentum because they're pulling away from the moving average. They're not even touching the moving average, right? So now, here we go. We're like at 28,000. The high's 28.10. First inkling of a pause, right? And again, here's a great way of using the dots. We're not going to short this thing until we get a red dot. That's the beauty of it. Pause, red dot creates a short structure. Many times, if you really want to be aggressive, pause, green dot is a continuation structure. I'll leave it to you. See, it's kind of a continuity move here, and a lot of times the pause is actually a continuity trade, and you see that in the description of my explanation of the auction theory setup, right? So now we know we're really trying to run the session highs. It's a double top, maybe. A trade I really, really like in this kind of situation is if we come back down to the moving average at all, just anywhere close to this. I love buying it, and I actually may buy it. Just it's not a setup, but it's just a fun trade to make. So if this thing comes down anywhere like around the 93 area, and now it's going to be like close to 96 because it's moved. See how it's moving up to fresh session highs. Let's see if it comes down here. I'll buy a little bit here. And let it, if it comes down all the way to the moving average, I'll buy a little bit more. I love the breakout and then a retrace back to the moving average trade. It's upward drift with a little bit of a stall right now. So, I want to get some more. Shit. I'm sorry, guys. Let me see if I can buy some more here. All right at the moving average. That's fine. Get over here on my stops or in my exits. Let's see if I get a moving average bounce here a little bit. I'm kind of eyeballing it off the trading view, so hard. If this thing, blows through, it blows through. It's fine. Hey, Benny. Benny's asking a question that I think is like a very common question from rookies, and it's absolutely the wrong question to ask. But it's a great question. So I'm gonna while I'm watching this trade, let's discuss it. Where is he? Oh, here it is. This is the question. I'm actually just watching my setup here because if we get the red dot, we're going to get a reversal signal here. I'm going to trade the reversal. But hold that thought. I'm going to talk to you about this. Yeah, I'm really glad you're catching on to the auction theory idea, because that's literally what the market is all about. And I think people completely lose track of that, and they don't understand how how trades are done as a result of it. All right, I'm watching for the Reds. Got 15 minutes before the market opened. Sort of and this was a pretty obvious double top here that you could see forming, but don't get lulled into thinking that's a permanent double top. It just could be a pause here a little bit. No signal yet, so I'm just sitting here patiently waiting. So we have stall, but no reversal signal yet. No sell yet. We have 9:15, 15 minutes to the open. Hopefully we'll get a little bit more range movement here. I'll be right back. Oh, Benny's comment is blocking me. Okay. I just realized that. All right. So anyways, it's a good, we were quiet while I'm waiting for some. Benny, the question isn't how much money I'm going to make, because I made about $500 yesterday. On the way I trade is I trade very, very small. I trade across multiple accounts, and oh shit. Always when I'm talking. Okay, I'm short this thing now off this signal. Really, there's no way I see putting a stop except to the highs, which kind of sucks because I don't like the. I guess you could put the stop to the candle, which would be like around, say, 95. That's really too tight, but we'll see. We'll put it over here. I'll put a target over here. Let's see if we get some extension. It's very shitty, choppy price action here with no direction. I think I gotta hold it over here. The stop really should be at the session highs, but okay, but we'll hold the stop. Let's see what it wants to do. So the answer to that is how much money do you make, right? Like, I am huge skeptic of every guru who makes $1 million on fake money on YouTube, because for two reasons. Because they're lying to you. I know for a fact they're lying to you. They fake all their accounts, and I trade all my accounts for real. It's one of the reasons why you don't see me making $1 million, because that's a complete lie. Nobody ever does that. But more importantly is, even if I did make $1 million, that would make zero value to you. The value is that you take my ideas and you make $1 million with it. That's what I'm trying to do in my room. The guys in my room, there are many, many traders in my room who actually trade much better than I do because, they're better traders or they have more time or whatever. The idea is that my help to you is to give you the trading strategies that turn, knowledge into profits. And that's the key thing. Literally just sticking around. I mean, my God, we're moving like 3 points, over under here. Trying to see if we can accelerate a little bit of a move here. Jesus. All right, trying to. There we go. I finally got got that trade gone, and that's an exit on a dot, so it's not a bad exit. So again, here was the structure. Yellow, we took the red, came down. Right now, is this thing going to extend lower? Yes, and I think, as I said, the way to trade this setup in a really, really strong fashion is like a 1-2 structure where you have a short exit and then you hold the stop to break even or even maybe to the stop, and then you try to go for the long exit. So in this particular case, where if we came in long here, right, you had a short exit here. If you held your stop to the original, where you originally entered, you had a much longer exit over here. And that's it's the runner piece of it that really can make a huge difference for you. And that's what I would be gunning for on this structure. All right, we got like 10 minutes to go. So does that answer your question, Benny? Who's the one rating the comments? Sorry, I don't know who's rating the comments. Which comments are we talking about? So comes a moment of truth, right? We got like 5-10 minutes to the open. Market is kind of signaling, a little bit of bottoming of the sell-off. Maybe they've done an auto by YT. I don't know. I'm sorry, I'm not paying attention to the little comments. Blue followed by a red, so maybe a little bit more weakness. Sellers coming in. But I think it feels like the market wants to ramp it on the open. We'll try to trade the open here. slowly rolling over, which is fine, because if we get a rally from lower levels, that's only going to give us hopefully more of a move. Hey, Juan Felipe Mosquera, really moving average. Yeah, the moving average is just an anchor, my friend. If you think that's the trade, you're in the wrong room. Tell me what institutional traders use. You know, I'd love to know. After having worked on Wall Street for 30 years, tell me all about institutional traders. Because really, I have no idea. Having worked at 55 Broad Street for 20 years. Why don't you read this, Juan Felipe Mosques, and learn something? Um, 5 minutes to the open. No trades. One way, if you were super aggressive and you wanted to play the opposite, just like in the a landing page that I showed you, you could trade the reversal of the continuous. So basically, the idea is if the blue gets negated by the red dot, you could try to take that as a short and try to trade it the other way around. Not a bad idea. Certainly, taking the orange, the green against the orange, is a really good one too. I really love doing that too. But those are what I would call niche trades. They're really good. You want to just trade the consistent trades, and really the money trade is the blue dot to the white dot. You're looking for always buying the index, buying the product, because NASDAQ is 70% up biased trade. So all you want to do is just find yourself, not honestly, if all you did all day long was just look for long entries on NASDAQ from a turn, you would never lose money. It's just going, because we're trying to do lots of different trades, and we get bored because sometimes there's a 2-3 hour delay between really good quality longs. But honestly, that is the trade. Which book do I recommend on trading as a beginner? Kathy has a really good book. Is it called Prop Trading Secrets? My partner Kathy has really, really great books. Everybody seems to love her books. Hang on just a second. I'm just watching this because I want to see white dot here. I walking into the belly of the beast here because it's 2 minutes to the open. But I don't mind taking this trade on small size. Let me just take small size on this thing. 23 seconds left. The trade is essentially, if this holds, we're here at around 80, 88, 75, 70 is the stop. And then you're trying to target the session highs here. Let's see if it's going to work. All right, I'm in the trade. I'm going to be basically underneath here at 70, and we'll just leave the opens over here. Let's see if we start running for the bulls. 206. Put this like around 205 exit. See if the market wants to do anything here. But let me pull up Kathy's books just 1 second, and I'll give them to you. See, if you look for Kathy Lean in Amazon, a lot of really good books, including one she wrote with me too. So worth checking out. We went 2,800, came back down a little bit. Let's see if this is going to give us a little power here. Time is it? It is 1 minute, 1.5 minutes to the open. I'm going to take the profit here because it's at the open. It's either going to spike and that'll be great, but then it'll just be excess profit, or it's going to spike against me and blow me out completely. So I'll just, I'll be safe rather than sorry, and just took my profit. The other thing that I kind of want to tell you is there's like two ways of trading the setup. One is you literally exit on the dot, whether it's a winner, a loser, a massive winner, a massive, a small loser. What I mean by that is that you enter on the first dot, exit on the second dot. Now, sometimes the second dot can be huge wins. Sometimes mostly it's sort of short, small wins. Or you can try to hold it towards a fixed target. And one ran away. uh, um, uh, Yeah, well, Hormuz is losing its grip because they're opening it up, right? They're opening up the strait. Ships are passing through, and a ton of ships are actually coming to the U.S. Like basically, what I was reading is that the interesting part. Oh, here we go. Here comes the Open, New York Open. So I see, yeah, it definitely spiked up high, hard, and we would have definitely hit money. But I just, we also could have spiked down. I didn't want to spike. I'm trying to be responsible in showing you the setups. This is always the most volatile part of the day, so not something I want to do. I want to let the candle go by. But generally, yes, session highs, clearly bullish tent. And as I said, if all you did today was simply buy the blue white dots and just kept doing it, and didn't fool around with any shorts, you'd be on the right side of the market almost all the time. And now we're reversing the pump and dump, the famous pump and dump in the first minute. Let's see how we play. Hey, Clean Sawa, how are you? Two-way market, but does look a little bit. I kind of agree with Raniera that looks a little toppy here. So we have a yellow candle, need a red dot candle. It's a big move to the downside. We need to basically totally reject this 2,800, try to trade the 60, maybe come down to the 60s. Oops. Oh, what did I just do? I hate screwing around with like new software. Oh, popping back up. Okay. Actually resolved to the upside, right? So fresh highs. Ugh, man, I hate this. Oh, this is how you widen it out. Ah, just like learning how to use the, there we go. Oh, okay. Man, every platform has its own little quirk. So it's a mouse widening. Okay, cool. Now that I know it, now it's easy to see it. Okay. Yeah, it's mouse driven, right? So, again, like I said, the niche trade, yellow followed by green, especially around market opens, we have lots of volatility. That's always a relief. That's a decent trade to take. Um, After we have this big breakout, the thing that I like to do always is try to buy the moving average retrace. Maybe like 16, 17. Big fresh session highs, man. Yeah, these are all astrologer trades. He's just, pumping the. We actually took out the London highs right on the open. It's a pretty bullish construct. That's why I'm just kind of waiting for it to come back to the moving average, which at this point keeps rising, rising, rising at around like probably want to be a buyer here at 30. And the reason why I don't want to buy the highs here is because you just never know when the move can go like another 30, 40 points, which is great, but you also don't know when it's going to end. But you do know you have a really um, high probability that if it's going to retrace, it's going to find support here and bounce, and that's what I want to try and trade. All right, where am I? It's going to be 40, right? I think I'm going to try to pull myself up to 40 at this point. All right, a little bit early, which is fine. We're going to come back down more. We'll buy some more here at the 30. That's all she wrote. That's all she wrote. Uh, it's always much more of an art than a science of trying to buy the retrace, but it's just a good example of what I mean. Uh, of you had it. This is a much more. It's a much more intelligent trade to buy it here than to buy it there. Even to buy it here, yes, it goes up, but you never know when it's going to stop. But you do know that when it does come back down to the moving average, the chance of it bouncing is pretty strong. Especially the higher it goes, the more likely it's going to bounce. So it's just a matter of weighing your probabilities of where you want to be on the trade. I don't know when I said I was going to be offering dots for MT5 today. When did I say that? All the MT5 stuff is on hold for now, guys. I'll update you as the week progresses. There's a lot of stuff going on. Once I have a little bit better information, I'll update you on all that stuff, okay? Don't worry, you will eventually get it all, but right now everything is on hold, okay? So back to the session highs. These are momentum trades that astrologer loves to take. Boom, boom, boom. So yellow off the white dot, more likely, probably get up to maybe the 60s on the extension. But what I'm actually watching here is this is the first sign of a stall, right? We had a big up move, first sign of a stall. I want to see maybe a little bit of a corrective V-shaped move here. Maybe we break, get the red dot and try to sell the move here. Yeah, big move up. Today is the momentum day today for sure. And in today's environment, which is a rare environment, when dots really thrive. Like if you just want to just trade momentum to the upside, it's just boom, 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 boom. And actually, like the reversal trade in this particular case is a super good trade. That's where the dot reverses the yellow. I should probably trade that continuously until it until it fails, because it's just as good a setup as the other way around. Sometimes maybe even better one, because remember, any long setup is always better than a short setup, right? So I should really be, for every 3 trades I take long, I should only be taking 1 short trade. That's really the ratio of success. That's actually a really interesting idea. It deserves its own little video on X, I think. Markets are massively upward biased over the last 3 or 4 decades. Like sometimes to the tune of 75%. So if that's the case, then for every 3 long trades, you should only be taking 1 short trade, which means you want to be looking for long opportunities anywhere you can. Speaking of coffee, I'll be right back. I have my pot. Let's see if it's still hot. All right, we're like 10 minutes away from Sam coming into the room, so hopefully he's going to show up and he's going to do some of his little magic of scalping. Oh wow, this coffee is blazing hot after like an hour. Holy shit! No, what I mean is within our structure, like what we should have been doing is buying the whites after the yellows. Buying the whites and the greens, because these are all, if you basically assume that there's a 3 out of 4 possibility that the move is to the upside, then all of these signals are really good signals, right? And if you look around, basically yellow to white is almost always a good signal. Just because we're upwardly biased. We're upwardly biased in the market, right? Look at this, yellow to white. This is blue to white, but yellow to white too. Same thing. I have to pull this out, pull out the data for you. Maybe in a minute when Sam gets on, I'll pull out the data for you and show you statistically why. Okay, let's do this. Let's have fun. All right, long this thing. Where am I? Boom, boom, boom. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Boom, boom, boom. Look how fast that was on the upside. That was like 10 points in 10 seconds, just pure blowout numbers. Again, what am I doing? I'm doing nothing but buying the reversal trade. That is in the auction theory of trading. This one. Where's the reversal? Where's the reversal one? Orange reversal down, orange continuation up, right? So if the orange breaks orange tells you that the sellers are in charge, right? And if those get reversed, actually this orange reversal down, reversal up. Yeah, I guess this should, when the counterattack fails, right? Blue is a counterattack signal, right? Of the auction. So the orange is a counterattack signal, and orange fails, which means we'll start going back up. That's the trade. That's the trade that you want to take. That's a trade that really makes a lot of sense. That's the move that really goes. We're 28-1. We're going to find some breathing room and some selling, but then after that, we're gonna have big waves back up to the upside. So for now, I think I'm kind of done trading the upside. I will wait for a sell signal, which may take another 5-10 minutes to develop. Because look at the angle of momentum; it's just such a steep move, but they can always get steeper, right? What is the orange candle reversal? It's in the web page. It explains it. I guess you know what? It's sort of like, if you think about this, blue and orange are counterattack signals, right? They are going against the prevailing trend. They're the early alerts of a counterattack, and if the counterattack fails, more of the same happens. So if the blue fails, more selling happens. If the orange fails, more buying happens. But the thing is that we know that buying happens a lot more than selling. So orange failing is a really good signal, is what I'm trying to say. Orange failing is a very, very good signal 3, 4, 5 times in a row. If you look at this chart, every time you bought the green dot after the orange, you made a ton of money. You made money here, you made money here, you made money here, and you haven't, you haven't got the signal yet. But if you do, you might be able to make money again. So it's just a great entry with by the way, like zero retrace, right? You're talking about risk here is nothing, 5 points. Less than 5 points, right? You're looking at a 5-point risk to a 20-point upside. That if you're looking for those high explosion trades, which you can maybe even load up on size with, those are really good trades. Like these are the great trades where we do the 5-point stop and unlimited upside, right? That's the great setup for that. It's a perfect setup for that. Oh, guys, hang on. I got to get milk. I'll be right back. This is how lazy I am. So you see this? This is like Horizon Organic shelf-stable milk. I'm too lazy to actually walk to the kitchen to the fridge. So I keep shelf-stable milk so that I can actually get milk in the office. I don't want to tell you what else I did, which is everybody in my family found this the most amusing thing. We were at my daughter's friend's house. She's like she's a teenager, and she had this thing which I've never seen before. It's called a makeup refrigerator. It's this tiny little tiny fridge for makeup, right? And it's powered by a USB drive. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. I think it's like $20, $30 on Amazon. So of course, I bought that originally just to keep my milk in the office because I wanted to have a shelf. I wanted to have a tiny little refrigerator whose only job was to hold a little carton of milk for my coffee. But then I was like, you know what? Horizon makes shelf stable. I don't even have to worry about it. Oh, we got a blue to a white, big bounce up. Let's see if this is a big move back up. Wow. Let's see if this plays out. This got a hold though. We clearly are just having these looks like massive short squeeze moves here. Dot disappears, so we're not trading it, but let's see how it plays out. So everybody was truly amused at the level of my laziness at getting a makeup fridge to just hold my carton of milk in the office. So this is an interesting sequence of trades here, right? Spike out, take out all the stops. I guess the young one's going to call it a liquidity sweep. It's just basically a stop run. And now it gets kind of interesting because the two operating, we have the orange and the blue operating candles. Do we push a little high? If we get a white dot, we would probably push a little higher. If we start to stall here, it could give us a toe hold into a short trade, but we'll see. So far, not making fresh highs. All right, Sam should be here in about 10 minutes. This is actually good time. I'd love to know what he's going to do here after this massive ramp. And I was going to read volume on this thing. I was going to jump, but the dot disappeared. So no trade. Yeah, just when you think it's stalling, it's buyers are just ramping. This is what a squeeze auction looks like. Like in poker, there's this concept of buying the pot where the guy has got so much money that he just bullies everybody off the hand, right? He just bets so much that everybody's like, oh, I can't afford to put myself up against that bet because if I lose, it's a lot of money. So everybody folds. Well, when you get these vertical moves, it's kind of like, same idea. You have lots of volume from either a couple of individuals or lots of individuals. They just scare everybody else off. So another, I keep calling it yellow because it's really orange, but whatever. Another alert candle, but now we're getting a red. Now we're getting a too legit to quit signal, right? If this thing holds, even if it doesn't hold, if we get an orange red, we have a reasonable toe hold for a short entry here. Not yet though. Just staying patient, waiting for the for the price action to throw us up. Although it's going to give it to us. All right, short, and I want to be actually above the highs here on this short. I want to give myself this 124, I guess. 111? No, where's my highs here? It's 111. I don't need to be that high. It'll be 120 is fine. And now we try to milk it to the downside a little bit. It's moving very fast. Let's see if this gets us down. All right, take another 20. Very, very clean trades. Right now, I'm trading tiny. This is really to kind of show you the timing. But if you traded this, if I traded this on a one regular contract, timed well, you can see, my risks, my risk is actually pretty even, right? It's like kind of like a 10 to 10, 20 to 20 risk. And the hit rate when you're focused, when you're in the zone, when you're locked in, as my young one says, is really good, because this was, once you're locked in and you know that the signal was the short, the move here your way was really great. And the other thing is, you saw a huge buildup of profit. So there's going to be profit taking. You just needed to time your profit taking entry. That's why I love the setup. The setup is such a good timing setup, right? Even when it fails well. What I mean by that is it fails small, right? That's actually the best thing you can have about the setup. It fails correctly. But when it succeeds, it's just a beautiful setup. It's super easy to do, right? Everybody vibing it? Now, I'll tell you what, if we do have a corrective move, it's probably going to go like 2850, maybe even 28,000. But once it does, once that sort of corrective wave comes in, we're going to get a blue-white combo, and you can load up the truck on that. Right now, it's basically a test back up to the highs. It's pretty cool, right, Keith? It's like a really good integration of all the concepts that we do. Who's new here? Tell me, there's a lot of new people that came into the room early. You guys still with us? You still following the structure? Beginning to understand what's going on over here? Oh, the empty scalper. This is what I was talking about. I'm sorry. Where's my thing? Oh shit, here it is. This is what I'm talking about, Chris. This is the empty scalper. Yes, the Hola empty scalper. That one, if you get the that absolutely is available for everybody who wants to trade MetaTrader 5. It's a great tool, and it lets you scale out. This lets you do a whole bunch of things that I can't do in futures. So if you're a CFD forex trader, this is great for doing that. I'm just focusing on the futures revealed today. But yes, absolutely, Chris, that's available. Just email me. I'll be happy to send it to you. Okay, Chris, that's totally yours. I'm happy to give that out. It just sometimes it's confusing in chat to understand what people are talking about. All right, a little probative trade here to the highs. The dot holds, we're going to go because it's a small risk. It's basically like a 20-point risk here on this move if it holds. I want you guys to understand that I traded this whole session. I'm probably going to stop trading, and then I'm going to let Sam come in here. I traded this whole session effectively on a 1 micro, 2 micro structure, right? So if I traded the mini contract, it would have been $550 right then and there, right? But I'm trading it very, very small for a couple of reasons. One, we need to get very, very comfortable with timing the setup, understanding the setup, trading the structure. Two, because I want everybody to trade small at the start. Yeah, we got news in 2 minutes. It's another good point, actually. Christopher is reminding me. as I always forget. We got ISM coming up. It's another good thing for us not to do, not to screw around. This is we could be walking into a 50-point move either way, depending on how ISM prints. What time is it? We can go. Let's take a look at ISM right now. Trading economics. Oh, you know what? No. Screw that. We actually have that on. This is what's so cool. We have that over here, baby. Oh, God damn it. Oh, it came out. Actual jolts. ISM 53.6, a little bit negative. Previous 54. New orders 5 against. Oh, 57. Wow. New orders slipped big time. Home sales actual forecast with 3. Employment 48. So ISM weaker a little bit. The new orders is the big downward surprise. Okay. And that's what's creating a little bit of negative flow here. Interesting. Would I take it to the downside? I would, if this holds. I just want to make sure that it holds. It does. I'll sell it. I think it's a little negative. I think it's negative enough that, where's my stop here? It's negative enough that I would, I think there's enough of a scalp here to make some money. We'll see. Oh, Sam's in the room. Hey. Sorry, Sam. I'm just putzing around here, playing around. Okay. Hey, okay. Let me bring Sam in for a sec. Hang on. Hey, Sam.
Hey, Boris. How are you, my friend? Long time.
Good, how are you?
I'm good.
Oh, look at this,
All-time
guys.
highs.
I'm eating. I know, and I'm eating the stop. What I say to you, the trade in the market is always to the long side, right? Even this little short, I was thinking, it's negative news. If they reject the news, they're going to pump it back up. So I just reversed myself out on this trade. The stop's going to be all the way underneath these lows, 57. So let's put ourselves around like 57s, and I'll add a little bit. I'm having a good time with the new Ola Tradeovates, Sam. We're having a blast.
Yeah?
Yes, we're trading.
Good.
Trading those.
I'm still on the DX Futures platform.
Are you still on DX Futures
with the Hola Prime account? Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna.
I might switch over.
Yeah, we're gonna bring you over to the dark side here. Okay. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
Did you guys trade on the stream? Did you trade the?
Yeah. So we traded the open. So yeah, it's been quite interesting so far. This is the first sign of a little bit of weakness I'm seeing from the buyers.
Yeah. It is.
Now, so
it is. And like
it's
that
getting
little,
a bit interesting.
And that little orange label is kind of like my first weakness label. But I'm trying to squeeze out the last of. I kind of feel like we get a run to the highs here.
Yeah.
A little bit more here. I'm going to just take this. I'm going to take this up, guys. So I took my final victory lap here for the for my longs. I've been I've been trying to tell the guys I have to go. I'm going to find research while you're trading. I'm going to find some research that shows that the market is basically 70% long, meaning that there's such an absolute on a day-to-day basis upward drift to the market that you should be making 3 long trades for every 1 short trade. Regardless of how you do it, to put the odds in your favor. And I was just basically showing them because we have the setup here where these blues are the pauses to the upside, and yellows are the pauses to the downside. But if you trade the yellow reversal, where the yellow candle is a warning sign that it's kind of things slowing down. But then if it gets rejected by a green dot, meaning that the buyers came right back into the market, it's a super good opposite signal. And if you just sort of traded all of these longs here, you had tons of money. And then if you even if you traded the the blues to the upside, you still had chances to make money. But all the way through the day, you basically, anytime you had weakness followed by strength, you bought that strength. That's really what it is. You have weakness followed by strength.
100%.
You bought that strength. You had zero losses, and that's what I'm sort of trying to say to them. That market regime is like 90% of the game. You figure out, where the dominant trend is, and all you got to do is just simply buy the turn back to that dominant trend, whichever structure you use, whether you're using my dot structure or or the footprint or anything else that you're looking at. But
Absolutely.
like you said, we are topping, so it'll be interesting to see. Do you want to share your screen?
Yeah, sure. My screen should be up on the back end.
I'm gonna add your screen too. I'm gonna take myself off. Add your screen here.
Right.
Be my guest and walk them through your footprint strategy of trading. I was teaching them the auction theory of trading. Basically explaining to them how the markets are all basically an auction and trying to understand where the auction lands. But this is actually very similar concepts to footprints in the sense of like where where each chunk of buying and selling ends. And how you interpret that is really the key to where you think things are going to go.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So the key is when it comes to footprint trading, it's always to try and identify who's entering the market and who's exiting the market, right? So what I like to do is generally just the 1 minute chart, so very short term stuff here.
Yeah. Same with us.
It's just kind of draw out the most recent high, low. So right now we're in this kind of little choppy range on the 1 minute. It's just very choppy, as you can see.
Right.
I'm just drawing out with these black lines the low of that range and the high, right?
Okay.
And the idea is once we get there to one of them, we want to see, if it's going to be a continuation, like we're going to expect, if we touch this black line at the high here, which we might do any second, we're going to expect an increase in buy volume. And that's going to be because, there's going to be any seller who came in this little range, their stops are most likely going to be around here somewhere, right?
Right.
At just above the high. That's where everyone's stop is probably going to be. So once we get there, we're going to see all those sellers get stopped out, right?
Right.
So we want to actually disregard that buy volume and not see it as, there's loads of buyers coming in. It's actually just sellers exiting, right? Because if you just chase whenever there's high volume,
liquidity sweep, right? As a young one say, it's a liquidity sweep, right?
Yeah, I mean, people call it that. You can call it whatever you like, really. But the idea is just people are exiting the market, or there might be even some buyers taking profit as well, which will also show up as buy orders, right, on the footprint. So we kind of when we're in the middle of the range, you just let it play out. I mean, there's no point trading.
What happens if you just disregard that volume? How do you then what would be your next thought pattern on? So
for example, I can show you here, if we go back in time. So at the time, this was the high, right? And then as we broke it, you can just see the spike in volume here. Now this is going to be a lot of sellers getting stopped out, basically. So we can disregard that as real buy volume. There's no true intention there. That's just people exiting, right? Right. And then what happens afterwards is where we really want to see what's going on. That's going to give us the idea of what's actually going to happen. And you can see some buyers entering, but they weren't really entering. They weren't really willing to buy at the highs anymore. Most buyers are looking to buy the dip, essentially, right? So we didn't really get any real buy pressure come in, but we did get some decent sell pressure come in. And they managed to kind of, push it down a little bit until the buyers took over again once, there was a dip. And then we started seeing buyers come in and they were able to push it back up. So if you were to just jump in at the breakout and be like, oh, look, loads of buyers, you probably, you might have got stopped out because your stop might have been here and you would have just been triggered out and then it would have went your direction. You'd be like, oh, the market always does the opposite of what, of what I want it to do.
It makes sense. Yes, exactly.
But that's because it wasn't actual buyers. They were just sellers getting stopped out. There was no real buy pressure in the market in that area. They didn't come in until here again, the real buyers, right? So yeah, as long as you kind of use logic and apply the footprint to logic and structure, then it starts becoming clear. Because the last thing you want to do is just chase volume. Chasing volume, you're going to get eaten up every day of the week, unfortunately.
Yeah, you know what? Chasing volume, chasing price, a very, very similar dynamic. That's
Yeah.
why we were. I was telling him, like, my dots are basically chasing price, right? And I was saying to him earlier, these dots are printing hot, hot, hot. But what we want to do is actually buy the retrace to the SMA, because that, by the way, is where your buyers came in, was at the 8 SMA over there. Because even though, yes, you could extend maybe another 5, 10, 15 points, the probability that you're going to reverse, you're at a much higher risk of stop out buying at that level than you are at buying on the retrace, to the thing, because the strong volume. Like right now, we're still trying to push session highs, right? 105, volume comes in. It's interesting. Volume is really going to challenge that. It's going to be interesting to see if they barrel through here or.
This is interesting. So we got sellers coming in at the highs again. They're not willing to give up. Sellers are not willing to let go. But what is interesting is that there were some buyers also. I mean, they've been eaten up by the sellers just now, but just for a split second, there were some buyers that came in, quite a decent amount, indicating buyers are actually quite happy to buy higher up now. But those sellers were very aggressive when they came in.
And now they're swamping it. Now they're swamping the move. Right? And we just turned red on my. Although we didn't quite get the momentum dot on my move here. It doesn't. It doesn't look like the pressuring here, but now it's starting.
And again, just using logic, right? You see the spike in sell volume. Again, I'm disregarding that sell volume. That's most likely, if you actually look at the really tight range here, it's most likely a lot of buyers who came in, these guys, just having a really tight stop, getting stopped out.
Right.
This is where these are real sellers coming in now. Do you see what I mean?
Like, if you start seeing buy volume come in, would you be a buy here on this dip, or?
Not here, no, not yet. So what I'd want to see is I want to see sellers fail. Just actually like what we saw. What we saw here at the top here, it happened in a split second. But if people can rewind at the end of this stream and have a look. But there was a big chunk of buyers came in all in one go, and then instantly they failed, and those sellers came in and pushed below them. That's kind of what we want to see. So we want to see like a big, like these sellers here. Imagine right now the candle just goes above them, and then a bunch of buyers come in. That would be a good sign that those sellers failed, right? So we want to see.
What are those blocks divided into? Like, what's the ratio there? Each block is how many?
So this is 12 ticks. So basically 3 points per block.
3 points per block is 12 ticks.
Yeah.
Got it. So it's divided into ticks. I didn't know if it was. Can you divide it into any other measurement, or is it only ticks?
Yeah. Only ticks, but you can put in any number you want.
Yeah, but you can't divide it into like contract, like 100 contracts or 200 contracts. It's not divisible.
Unfortunately not. No. So there seems to be a bit of a battle here. This candle's very interesting, actually. So notice how.
Yeah, so this is so interesting. That's our blue candle. That's the candle. That's the alert that sellers are failing. In like a short alert here, sellers are failing. That's so interesting. It's and now we're getting a green dot.
And there it is.
Move back up. So we got about 40 seconds. If this thing holds. If this candle holds strong, that would be a buy signal for us. But it's not, it's a positional buy signal. We're not, our stop would be. Oh, now reversal.
Did you see that instantly?
Reversal. Whoa, they just swamped.
Did you see that right there?
They destroyed it.
You saw it a couple of seconds before it happened.
And that's
someone
why
front runs that.
That's exactly why we don't. We wait until the candle closed. It's actually really good to contemporaneously see volume and price narrative, because I'm looking at my price while we're looking at your volume thing, and it's kind of super interesting. Yes, there's a big reversal that looks like, to me, this is a sell to us. Like we would,
I would be a bit cautious here, because this seems to be a very choppy area. Buyers and sellers are aggressive with each other. No one is really willing to give up. And look, once we get below the range, you had more buying come in. We didn't actually see,
but they're breaking it.
you know,
They're
buyers
breaking
aren't giving up either. So
Right.
actually buying where their stops are, which means that it's going to take sellers a bit harder, a bit more to actually break through. So they're going to have to be more and more
Well, this
aggressive.
is 2850. Remember, I said to you guys. Remember earlier in the session, I said 2850, and then look at 2800. Where I'm going to be looking, like what I really want to buy is once we get to like 28,000, not 2800, 28,000, because
yeah, I've got
the turn
28,000.
there is going to be much more forceful. But this was like for my price action, I would have been a seller, you know, right off that first big red move. For a short move, like for 5-10 points, would have been good, and it did work.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, this might be the first decent pullback.
No, it is. The sellers are really swamping the buyers now. The buyers, you know, they're making very lame holds here. What indicator is Sam using? It's called the footprint indicator. He's going to show it to you. It's available for free on TradingView.
You need the premium TradingView, to be fair. So it's not on the free plan.
Right. Yeah. Sorry, you need premium TradingView.
But it's part of it's like a chart type. So you know where you can select all the different types of charts. You'll see volume footprint if you got the premium TradingView. But then you also need the CME subscription, which you can get off TradingView, and it only works on assets that are from the CME. So you want to make sure it says CME, like the NQ. So basically the futures. Then you got the real data.
Yeah. You know what? This is like new stuff, but we're getting, so just to let you guys know, we're getting a blue candle on my charts. That's again, it's just a warning of a possible reversal. It's just a signal that the buyers have paused, have stemmed the bleeding. They've stemmed the bleeding. It's not a buy in any way, shape, or form for us yet, because we need a break out of this thing. But they have stemmed.
There are some huge chunks of sellers coming in. There seems to be someone very aggressive. So if you actually look at the numbers as they form in real time, you'll see the numbers are like big chunks coming in. So it's not just like trickling up or down. You'll see like it will go from, you know, -30 to like -100, meaning like 70 in one go. Or so there seems to be a serious seller in the market right now.
What's the average transaction in the NQ? I wonder, like, it'd be interesting to know, to pull that from CME. Like,
I would say usually like 10, like 10, 15.
10 is the average,
kind of normal.
And I wonder what the median is on the move. But you're right. Like if it comes in 100 lot,
a lot of buyers.
100 lot, yeah. And you, by the way, we're getting not just yet, but I'm getting 17 seconds left. I do have a buy signal in my thing. It's got to hold. I'll let you know. I'm actually going to go long this thing if it holds, and I'll give you the stops and the targets.
There's sellers getting stopped out right there.
Yeah.
That big chunk of volume we just came in. That's a lot of these sellers here getting out.
I'm in the trade. It's a big stop, guys. You gotta hold the stop all the way down to 40s. So obviously a small position, and it's going to retrace down. So you're going to have to try to average into this position. If you basically,
I might go short. I know it's crazy.
No. There's enough room to go short here on this trade.
Oh, I didn't click it in time. I saw it come in. This is dangerous.
Wow. Holy shit. I got hit very badly. So it really reversed hard. Wow.
I spent 5 seconds too long thinking about it, and that's just mental. There's a huge seller in the market. I'm telling you, they're coming in massive chunks.
And it's probably not going to be happy until they drive it to 28,000. So
this person isn't giving up for some reason. But we've seen this happen recently, massively. There's been a lot of insider trading. What I can only assume is insider trading.
Oops.
So I wouldn't be surprised if something comes out news-wise, because this looks slightly suspicious. Why someone is that aggressive?
if somebody has news that maybe we're reestablishing military operations, that's always going to be like sort
Yeah,
of first.
I think it might be something to do with that.
Yeah.
But it could also, to be fair, we've been very bullish. It could be
Right.
someone who's offloading their position.
Correct. I mean, it just could be somebody who's just got a massive thing. So, guys, just let you know, I've taken this. This is a very, very big red candle. So I'm positioned on this thing at around 28.50. Targeting about 20, but I have a stop is at 100. I have a big stop all the way wild out, because you need that much room to see if this selling is going to continue all the way down to the 28,000. Basically, you kind of have to assume that there's more selling to be done. If this was exhaust selling, if this was climax selling, then I'm wrong, and we're going to eat this stop. But at least you know where you should be on your stops and your targets and how you want to position this whole thing.
So here's it's not because this came out yesterday as well, but the UAE is air defense system is responding to missile and drone threats from Iran. So
right,
it could be the start of potentially some kind of escalation, like we saw yesterday a bit,
right,
and then
there
could be a potential sell-off here. So I would be very cautious in this market, because buyers also don't really want to let go. People are buying the dip very aggressively too, and then every so often there's that big seller comes in and just boom, drops the market quite a bit. This is going to be very choppy until something happens news related. I think it's gearing up for something. So, and this could be, truth be told, this could be buyers, previously who are dumping their orders quickly. They're getting out aggressively, manually. They're literally, imagine if you were in a buy and you have a big, position, you're just dumping as much as you can because you think there could be something happening. It could be that as well, rather than true aggressive selling. So I'd be slightly cautious because it feels like the market's gearing up for some kind of announcement. And, you don't always want to be caught up in that. So,
yeah,
and then it calms down.
One way you kind of work the one way you work the price risk is through low size. Like I'm spreading out my trades a little bit to just get myself into a minor size, which I'm going to be eating right now, because I'm getting a completely contrary signal. I'm getting a white dot reversal signal, which I will reverse. And the thing is, guys, you guys know, I will take 2 or 3 losses until I get the right profit. That's the thing, right? It's okay. I got to reverse here on this position. We'll see. You're right. The buyers really absorbed a lot of this stuff. Yeah. And now you got to go with the long side, and that's fine.
I think if there's any escalation with the US doing military action with Iran, that's going to drop this market. Look at that, seller came straight back in again.
Yeah, but look at it.
Every time we spike up,
they just ate him. I took a huge long now, and I'm big up. I'm big up on this thing.
Oh,
I took a nice big long, and I just took a big up on that thing because they just ate the whole thing. Because and now they're almost at session highs. So you got to watch this, because it feels like the buyers want to run the session highs here.
I think that's a trap. I think it could be a trap.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is a tough one to read, man. Buyers and sellers are as aggressive as each other. It's almost like two sides are insider trading. That's what it looks like. They're both as mental as each other right now. There's not a clear kind of, but there seems to be a seller who's willing to jump in every time where you think their stops are. We saw this yesterday. Wherever you would imagine sellers to have their stops, like up here, they're buying into their stop losses rather than letting go of their position, which, why would someone add to the drawdown is unless they know something. That's the only logical conclusion I can come up with. And I might, it's good. Something big's going to happen. This is very, very weird.
All right, I'm back. I'm back.
Don't let
long.
me influence
I'm
your
back,
trade in
I'm
any
back
way.
to being
Don't let me-
long, trying to trade, and I'm back out. So
Ooh.
I gunned it for session highs, and I got myself back out. So I just traded the flow, guys. We'll see. Right now, the buyers just swamped them, so
Yeah.
I rode with them. So that was,
Damn.
you saw, I got
Good
stopped
call.
out. I got stopped out on that short, and no, sorry, I got stopped out on the long. Then I got stopped out on the short,
Oh.
and then I reversed long, and I reversed long, and made everything back, and then some. And that's the thing. You got to be very flexible on what the price is doing.
Apparently, Trump is speaking, but it's nothing really presidential
No.
fitness test award. I don't know.
No.
It doesn't sound too, but you never know. He might say something. But the buyers have come in super strong right now.
Buyers blew the sellers out of the water right now.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that seller, I think they're out the market now. I think they got stopped out pretty much here.
Yeah.
So they are letting go.
Now they're letting go.
That was whew, that
That
was a
was
big
fun.
battle there. That was a lot of volume. I mean, you don't see on NQ that kind of volume happen every day. That was
How much volume was there? Oh, there's look at that.
thousands, man.
Thousands.
And this is just a delta.
Right.
So if I actually turn on the
Delta,
volume itself,
that's not even the gross. That's just the delta, right?
exactly. If I turn on the volume, you can see. Let me just sort of volume. Yeah, well over 1,000 on some candles.
Yeah.
4,000 on that candle. Like the average volume that's a lot.
Yeah. Let me, Sam. I'm gonna show them my chart just 1 second because
Sure. Go for it.
Just for 1 sec.
Yeah.
Let's see, remove, add to stage. So I just want to mark down what I was doing, right? See, because you guys heard me narrating it, but I want to show it to you. Where is this? Here we go. Here's my emojis. So the first trade was we got long. Was it here? Yeah, no, sorry. I got long here, and I got slammed right over here. This short, the seller came in. I get slammed, so I get stopped out. Right. Then I follow again. Control C, Control V. Then I follow the seller down, and I'm like, okay, we're gonna get short on the move here, and it doesn't really get too far deep to the. Sorry, I follow here. This is where I get stopped out. I follow the seller again. It doesn't make fresh lows. It goes back up, right? So now I'm stopped out twice on this move on the white dot. Then I get long the white dot because I reversed myself because I was like, we're getting power moves to the upside. So I get long here. Boom, that blows up, makes money, and then I say we're holding the bid here. We're now coming down. I get long again, and boom, again, secondary move back up to session highs. Now we're finally starting to see my stall candle that says we possibly can have a stall. That's not a short trade unless you want to be super aggressive and just if this completes, you can just trade that against the session highs. But it's a low probability trade. I mean, we could do this a little bit here, just small against session highs and see if it's just comes in for a quick scalp. But the true turn will only occur if I get a red dot here on the move. And as I said, this is probably going to be a sucker trade because the first stall usually takes you back to session highs. But it's worth a shot for a tiny little move. But the point being is that you need to be very flexible. If things are not going your way, you need to listen to where the market is going. And the market clearly was flipping around the other way. Dots were showing you, just like right now. I'm absolutely wrong on this thing. I told you, I went into this thing knowing that I was going to be probably long. The market really wants to run higher. In fact, this is a really good buy signal for us. Anytime we get a yellow signal reversed by a white dot, we want to be going the other way, right? So I'll go the other way here. If this holds, I just want to make sure that the white dot. All right, so it holds a little bit. We're going to try and just get out at a small extension here and see if it goes. Maybe this is the final move, and I may have bought the top, but it's fine. But the point is that you got to listen to the market, and if this thing takes me out, and we go all the way below the lows over here, which is what, the 114, 110s, 114s, then that will set us up for a much more meaningful reversal, which we can take advantage of. So don't despair if you're wrong in the first couple of trades. Just hold the right size, watch the signals, and flow them properly. All right, I'm going to turn it over back to Sam. Let him show you what the footprint is doing, and I'll just let you know what's going on with my trades.
Not much happening at this moment in time, so I'm disregarding much of this volume as stops and things like that. We have some real fresh buying coming in. We got some fresh selling coming in, but it's a bit of a up and down battle in this little area because there's buyers here, sellers here.
Right.
So I'm just trying to gauge who's kind of who wants it more,
Right.
I'm still seeing that seller come in a little bit, that they're not completely giving up, which is a little bit weird. But
it feels like they're fighting the tape, but they're looking for the top. I guess they feel at 28,000. There's probably a couple of hedge funds that think that 28,000 is psychologically a top here for the market, that probably have a lot of capital they want to deploy, or at least they think it's close to a top, and they want to deploy initial positions here at that level, or maybe they just want to lighten up their positions, or they're offsetting. They're offsetting. They're basically hedging their cash positions in stock. By the way, to let you guys know, I had that white dot. It retraced back to the moving average. I bought a lot more over there, and now I gave everything back up at a profit. So I'm out of the whole thing, nice and clean.
Nice.
So that's where we're at. But we are stalling here. So it could be just institutional hedging in the sense that a lot of people have huge profits on cash, right? And 28,000 is a natural sort of a psychological sell point, but they don't want to sell. They don't want to sell their equity positions, so they may be hedging it in futures, and so they don't really care. They're not really a market sensitive seller. They're just a volume seller because, and that's probably why they're coming in and doing all this stuff.
Absolutely. But while we're here, I want to see one side kind of exhaust. I'm just trying to see who wants it more at the moment. We're not really seeing that many buyers willing to come in at the moment, but maybe if we drop down a little bit, they'll start. I'm assuming they'll buy the dip. There they are again. Yeah, they're just buying the dip. So buyers still want a good price. They're not too keen at buying higher up, meaning until they do, we're not really going to break out, because you need to get buyers willing to buy the highs in order to actually keep moving up. Does that make sense? And sellers willing to short the lows in order to go down. So otherwise you just get this kind of stalemate where it just kind of goes sideways for a while and nothing really happens.
We're definitely getting a little bit of stalemate, and we'll see which way we resolve. I'm getting another yellow candle that now turns positive, but we haven't broken fresh highs for about 5 candles. So somebody's asking if you're a VWAP user. Are you a VWAP user? Do you even look at it?
I personally I don't, but the VWAP is very good. I just tend to not really like too many lines or like moving average type things on my chart, but it's a really good indicator. So people swear by it. It's very, very good.
Yeah, I have it as just like a marker. It's just if you want to be on the right side of VWAP most of the time, and it's an easy way to see it. So we're obviously above the VWAP hard. So we are interesting. We are stalling both ways. I'm getting blue candles and orange candles, saying it's kind of like positive price action.
I mean, just look at the last few candles. They're almost just a clone of each other. It's like a barcode. This is a real.
It's a balance, right? We're in balance here, and that could be like. And so that's actually a really interesting piece of information, because once we break out of that balance, we should have some directional moves.
Yeah. And normally you can tell when it's about to break out or who's going to win just by who adds volume on, it's normal to assume sellers are going to add volume at the top and buyers are going to add volume at the bottom. That's just because it's a range, right? But if you start seeing sellers add volume at the bottom or buyers add volume at the top, that's when it starts getting a bit, okay, they're getting, one side is growing balls, do you know what I mean? And they're willing to.
How do you gauge who's adding volume? How do you know this?
Literally just using the footprints. When we get to the highs, so like I'm looking at these numbers right now, so 36, 35, 39, it's not really going into the positive. Buyers aren't buying right now. 57, 45, 34, 20, minus 51, 60. Like it's more sellers still kind of willing to add here.
If you mean the fact that delta is negative means that the sellers are just adding volume. When you're saying adding volume, as long as delta stays negative, the sellers are adding volume. And
but
now
also how
the buyers are starting to add a little bit of volume there, right?
Right, but how the numbers change as well. So, for example, we're at let's just take this little cluster here, right? The top one. So this is at negative. Oh, there, big volume. It went from -4 to -60.
Yeah,
in one go, in one like split second. Meaning some seller put in at least 56 contracts or something delta.
Right.
But it got eaten up very quickly by buyers. Buyers are now willing to add volume a bit higher up, right? Look, they're finally. We were at -60. We're back to positive 30.
Right.
So the buyers are willing to start slowly. They're growing a bit more balls. They're willing to buy a bit higher up now. So that's the first sign. So if they keep that up, then we get a breakthrough, or a breakout.
Interesting.
Even. So you kind of want to gauge. Sellers are still willing to short. So buyers need to get that number positive. Knock it back down again. Right. There it is. You see, and now look at that, 70 at the top, 200 sellers been stopped out. That's all the sellers getting stopped out there.
I am getting. Well, it needs to hold. That could have been that could have been exhaust buy right now. Because right now I had a signal and it's just getting viciously reversed. So it's actually turned red. I'm getting a red dot here. I'm getting a full
100%
sell reversal here. Super interesting.
Because if you look what happened on the footprint, again, all within context, sellers got stopped out, a large chunk of them, but then more entered immediately after. They weren't willing to give up yet. If that was now buys, it would be a different story.
Yeah. I took a little small, tiny probative short here. It may be too early, but I kind of just followed the selling flow here, and it's working.
I think you're all right for that. I think you're good for that. Sure.
I just took another scalp down because that was a big ass. So it's really interesting how my price chart kind of confirms your volume. Like the narrative in my price chart confirmed your volume chart. It's just a matter of how you read it. But that was cool. Yeah. So I took that short at around 22. Now where was it? 22. Yeah, and now it's it's almost 20 points lower. So they really swamped it. So that was good. That trade worked as well.
That was really nice.
That's nice. Sam, we need to have you more on the stream because you add so much interesting complexity to the price action, and I don't have the real estate to be able to. I think I'm going to have to get another monitor to just be able to watch footprint off the side of my nose. But you know what? I think you can in StreamYard. I wonder if you could do this. You could actually probably create a couple of different screens, and you could switch between them, right?
Okay, nice. I don't know, to be honest.
Yeah. So look at that. Look at that. The sellers just swamped it. Remember we talked about the fact you break that level, that range. Then you have some good directional clue. So we broke that level over there, and the sellers just kind of swamped it. At least for the near term.
No, there's still a seller in this market. They've been in this market for a while.
Yeah,
almost building up a position. But
that's why it sounds to me like it's that could be hedge funds either hedging out or actually taking a naked spec on just building like 1,000 contract position in NASDAQ, willing to. I don't know how much they're going to be willing to absorb, But maybe if you're absorbing, let's say, I don't know, 2%. What is that? That's 280 by 500, 700 points of NASDAQ pain, which they could, But if you get a big position, they're going to be able to cover it really well.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, that was a good click.
What was
Again,
that?
now we're at the point of control.
Yeah.
Which is we're back there again. The volume profile is kind of what you'd expect as well on a day like this. It's nothing too.
Can you explain to a lot of people in the room who don't know what a point of control is? What it's basic statistics. It's where most of the buying and selling occurred. Like it's kind of like the bell distribution, and this is the highest peak of it, right?
Yeah, exactly. So the point of control is just basically this was where the most volume occurred, and it's also, generally speaking, as well, where the most time price spent.
Right.
So it usually indicates consolidation. High volume nodes are usually to do with consolidation because price spends a lot of time there, builds up, accumulates a lot of volume, and that's why it's the point of control. Low volume nodes are usually where price spent the least amount of time, and that's usually when price moved very fast through those areas. So I personally like to trade the low volume nodes.
How do you trade them?
Just kind of draw them out, wherever volume dips. So we have
what do you do with that information? If you have a low volume node, are you a buyer or a seller?
So if we're in a market like this, like in a bullish market, if we go back into this kind of area of low volume, I'll be looking at buying. And just like what happened here, it kind of rejected, went back up again. Or if we do break through the low volume area, say price goes down, then I'll kind of look for a retest on the other side of it and then a continuation back down. That's kind of like what happened here. So here's like a little low volume node, right? So this yellow box, we kind of went through it, came back on the other side, and then continued up.
Came right back up.
Yeah.
Interesting. So it's sort of like it's a pivot point for you.
Right. Yeah.
I have a pivot point right now. I have a blue candle showing up, guys. That's not a buy signal, but it's a pause signal to the sellers, meaning the buyers are kind of holding it. They're naturally holding it in front of the 100, right? So it makes sense. So the question is, is this selling getting staunched at the 100 or not? So we'll have to see. But for now, it's the first area where the buyers have been able to hold bids.
Yeah, buyers start coming back in again. I'm just waiting for something. I'm waiting for that chaos to kind of end a little bit. I don't like how chaotic it is. There seems to be someone in the market putting on a lot of size aggressively, which can be very dangerous.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of waiting for a bit more calmness to come in. This is starting to look a little bit better now. Like the way the contracts are coming in, they're not too crazy. Things seem a bit more calm, but
that's also like the end of the 10 to 11 hour when a lot of the business has been done, or at least people have put on their initial position. So if this candle stays above 110, I have a small buy signal here on my moves here. But the stop is going to have to be 86 basically. It doesn't matter. It doesn't hold above 110. So not a signal. We need to have it close above 110 in order for this to be a signal. Just consolidating a little bit here. But really cool, really cool to to have two very different approaches, essentially trading the same idea, finding the right pivot points in the marketplace. Actually, I'm long here. I
would say as well. Yeah, the buyers are above any of the fresh sellers. There's a bit of fresh selling coming in. I just want to see a bit of failure happen on there, and then I'll be happy to go long. because I couldn't figure out if this volume is real buyers or potentially sellers getting out from here. So I want to see like more of an inside candle and then kind of figure out what happens in that.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I did a probative buy, another probative buy at the moving average. We'll see. But it looks like actually the sellers are now dominating. I might have to revert my trade. Yeah, sellers
came in strong.
Boom.
Yeah, they're buying their stops. The sellers are still shorting where their stops are, which is what we had all day.
I'm with the sellers now. And I'm, let's see what they want to do. I may get whipsawed, but at least I'm going to be
big buyers dropping out.
Yeah. I'm with the sellers now that they're just coming down hard here.
So this is the interesting part right here. After stops get hit, what happens after the stop is always quite interesting. So there's a lot of sellers coming in still. They're struggling to bring it down. There's definitely some kind of iceberg sitting there.
They're trying to absorb all their selling, right?
Yeah.
But once if he leaves, then it dies.
I'm going to gear up potentially for a buy. I just want to see some buy aggression because I'm seeing the sellers fail a little bit here. They're putting in volume, but they're not pushing it down. Now I just want to see actual buying come in. Or unless otherwise sellers will just keep adding and break through here.
Yeah. All right. I covered my short here because it wasn't moving. Just like Sam said, it wasn't moving down. So I made a little bit of money on the short and the reversal. But let's see. And now I'm getting
quick. It just ran away from
me. Yeah, boom, right? You can tell.
Retrace back a bit. Give me a good price. I'm gonna have a really tight stop. Come on. 3-6 minus here. Still some sellers coming in. Get above those sellers. Oh, that's some big selling coming in still. Now the sellers aren't giving up yet. They're not giving up. There was a few buyers that came in, but they weren't strong enough. They didn't add enough. I want to see them add here. Show me some adding. All right, I'm gonna go in long. I'm gonna have a really tight stop below there, and let's see if we can go back to the highs. Now, what I want to see is we need to get above that cluster of sellers there. If we start failing to get above them and buyers, I want to see these buy numbers get bigger and bigger. If sellers keep coming in here, it's not going to work out. They're going to just take it out. So I need to see buyers come in aggressively now. Come on, buyers, where are you? They're not coming in strong enough. Come on. I need to see like 100 contracts or something from the buyers. Let me get rid of my pen tool. What's going on here? What have I done? There it is. There's still a lot of sellers. They're still coming in. Come on, buyers, where are you? We need some fresh buying to come in. Come on, buyers. We don't want to get below those buyers. These are the ones holding the line. If they fail, so do we. I need to see buyers come in. This is little numbers, 16, 10. Come on, give me like 70, 80, something like that. Oh, that was a lot. Big seller came in.
Big seller came in.
Big seller came in there. Yeah, the buyers just weren't adding volume, sadly.
Yeah, he flushed the move. But it feels like they're just kind of flushing and the buyers coming right back in.
Yeah, but there's still that big seller in the market every time. I'm telling you, it's dangerous, this one, because you just don't know when they're about to come in. Now there's again, but you don't want to chase it. I'm going to wait a little bit, just kind of figure it, let them, what's the word? Get their feet.
My candles are oscillating between red and white dots, just back and forth. Let's see where it settles. If we settle around above 95 or higher, I have a buy signal. So we're like 98, 99,
nice.
100. We're settling up here. Okay. Oof. I'm with the buy signal. Let's see if that's going to have any continuity underneath of the near term lows here. As my trade.
Oof. Yeah, they came in a bit.
What's that?
They came in. They came in
Yeah.
a little bit late there. Those buyers.
Yeah, they did.
But I'm not fully convinced yet. I'm not fully. While that seller who's so aggressive keeps coming in, it's gonna be it's
Well, he may be he may
gonna
be
be
coming
scary.
in like tactically a little higher. Like he's just not, he's not hitting the bids. He's like kind of waiting for the offers to rise up. He may be a little more price sensitive now. We'll see. Anyways, we're just holding bid right now above the 100. That's kind of like the Maginot line. We spent a couple of candles above the 100. We have a general push here, maybe to the to higher levels.
These buyers are failing, and now the sellers are coming back.
It
looks like a short for me. This looks like it could be a short if the sellers are, because again, we're kind of getting. I might go short here. I'm going to join the sellers here and have my stop just above those buyers, because those buyers couldn't bring it. What's the word? Couldn't bring it down. I mean, bring it up even.
Bring it up. They couldn't bring it up above the 100. The 100 was the key level, but there's still a battle here. It's still like a tug of war.
There's a huge battle going on, but I need to see those sellers come in and not let go of these buys. Hold that line. So I want to see sell numbers come in, but we're just not getting it right now. There's a little bit of selling, little bit coming in now. But we need to get below this low here. Let me move that black line down here. We want to see, because I'm disregarding a lot of that buy volume. I think that's going to be like the top of that buy volume is definitely stops. That's the only real buy volume I see afterwards. So they're the ones trapped. Now we want to see these sellers defend and keep adding volume. So I'm looking at the numbers live. Let me move the pen.
Right.
So 60, 75.
I reversed at 88 to the short side, and now it's building up a nice shorts here. So now it's really working on the short side. Because I was listening to Sam, and he convinced me to the sellers, but they need to push. I need to see those push through. Neither side is very dominant right now, but
no.
I want the sellers to push harder through the 82s. They failed the 100. I wanted to push lower now. Okay, so that's good. Now my short is really starting to work. Come on.
As long as these sellers keep adding, we can break through this low.
Yeah.
So, but they keep. They're not willing to short. They're not willing to short lower down.
Yeah, I was going to take profit on my short, and too late. I'm going to stay patient on this thing. Let's see if they can press it a little.
This is starting to look good. I like the fact that we trapped those buyers at the top there. Now we need to stay again. My stop has to now pretty much. If we get above that 22, I don't want to be in this market anymore. So we need to see sellers come in. I don't want to get any higher than that cluster there. So basically my entry. Come on, drop that number down. I want to see them absorb all these buyers and come in aggressively and push them down. Flush them out.
No, we're not
if not, they're coming in heavy, the buyers now. Come on.
They're not getting the flow.
Get below that? Nah. The buyers might just.
I'm out of this because they didn't push the flow. I got myself out.
Nah.
They scratched.
They're failing at the bottom here.
Yeah, there was we couldn't get any momentum either side. So now we're basically sort of either side of the 100 without any side dominating. Although buyers are trying again.
This looks like it might go sideways for a bit, unfortunately.
Yes.
It was right there where the sellers failed, just at the bottom here. If they added a bit more volume, they could have broken through. But this looks like it might be a bit of a range.
Yep, and you got to be very patient through these ranges. Exactly. Totally. All right, guys, man, it's so much fun to have Sam around, guys. As always, let me give you so Sam, we discovered that the discount on futures is actually prop 35. That's the
okay, nice.
Prop Fest 35. That's the key discount on futures. Go out there and get some. Either TradeAvate Ninja or DX futures, but obviously TradeAvate Ninja. A lot of people are very familiar with that, so it's really, really great to have that Hola is on there. And like I said, you guys have your rules are very, very straightforward. It's just basically 6 up, 3 down.
Right.
Small consistency, and there's like no minimum. You don't need to like make a minimum per day, right? I don't see any. Yeah, it's just like, you can make $20 a day and get funded in a year if you wanted to, if you were patient enough as a trader. But that makes it very, much more open-ended for people to be able to trade it nicely. So it's really, really great to have you guys full on board on futures. It's great to have Sam, guys, in the room. He's going to be, of course, at Prop Fest on Saturday. So be sure to come, everybody. Be sure to come visit. And we're going to be trading all week long, and then we have the non-farm payrolls on Friday. So that should be a lot of fun. And we'll absolutely have Sam back. I love the footprint. It's an incredible tool set. It's just great to have him on the side here, kind of commenting on everything that's going on. So I hope you guys really enjoyed it. Give me some give me some loves, give me some hearts for Sam.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in.
Thank you. Thanks again.
Always awesome guys. Being on Boris's stream.
Yes, no, it's wonderful. And we will see everybody tomorrow. And then, of course, we'll see everybody for Profits. Look at all the love you're getting, Sam. All the love.
Amazing. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, guys.
English, UZ, Justin, Dawood, everyone. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys. All right. Everybody enjoy. I got to run. Everybody take care. Bye-bye.
Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.